and welcome to the news. I'm Kavita Krishnan. Let's take a look at the top headlines this evening. It's a big Mirror Now impact. The BMC to file a criminal case against 6 contractors for using inferior quality material to build city roads. These 6 contractors are a part of the 352 crore road scam. Mob violence on the rise across the country. Another shocking incident coming in, this time from Uttar Pradesh, where a family of 10 were assaulted by a mob on a moving train. Father strangulates daughter to death in the name of honor after she fled away with her lover. Heartless father then confesses to the crime. No relief for actor Dileep in the Bollywood actor molestation case. The court rejects his bail plea for the second time. Custody extended till tomorrow. Kamal Haasan names the Malayalam actress who was molested earlier this year while addressing the media. When confronted, he said that using the victim's name didn't matter. 4 artists from the Gorkha community returned their awards as a mark of protest against the West Bengal government's policies. Meanwhile, Darjeeling continues to be on the boil. The NGT announces a 50,000 rupee fine for dumping waste in and around the Ganga. Also bans construction activity within 100 meters of the river's edge. BJP MP Rupa Ganguly issues a bizarre challenge to the West Bengal government, dares the TMC and Congress leaders to send their wives and daughters to Bengal to see whether they would get raped. In one of the most telling signs of rise in global warming, a mammoth iceberg chipped off from an ice shelf in Antarctica. A Supreme Court appointed committee has put all the contracts of the recently appointed cricket coaches on hold. Our top story this evening. Even though the government has spent over 7,000 crore rupees in 2 years to clean the Ganga, the state of the river still remains a serious environmental issue, said the National Green Tribunal today as it issued a series of directives including the complete prohibition of dumping of waste within 500 meters from the river. The NGT further stated that every offender would be liable to pay a penalty of 50,000 rupees per default. The tribunal also banned construction activity within 100 meters of the river's edge.
The NGT has stepped in. It has decided that this is the opportune moment to go ahead and pass 540 pages plus judgment wherein it comes out with diktats which needs to be complied with forthwith by both the states of Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh, and this is an effort to go out and clear the river Ganga, which has been lying dirty for so many years now. It was a long-standing matter before the National Green Tribunal. Earlier it was pending in the Supreme Court of India, but the matter before the Apex Court was progressing at a slow pace, and subsequent to that it was transferred to the NGT, which is in charge of environmental issues, and along understandable lines the order itself speaks about the caution with which the NGT wants both the state governments to proceed. It has not just ordered a financial penalty of 50,000 rupees for littering the river banks and the river itself, but it has also gone on to pass an order which will have this enforceability of shutting down these tanneries and the factories which operate along the bankside of the river Ganges. Now this is going to have ramifications because there will be a lot of voices which are coming out and will come out furthermore going forward who will say that it is their livelihood again which is at stake. But clearly the NGT was mindful of the fact that the order to shut down these factories in 6 months' time, some were arguing was a trifle short period of time. However, I did not buy that contention given the fact that this particular issue was being debated for nearly about 2 2 years before the green bench, and therefore that has weighed predominantly on the NGT's mind. Alongside, the NGT has also banned all developmental work on the banks of the Ganges River. Now, what is very interesting going forward would be if two BJP-ruled states of Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh now gear up and go ahead and enforce these orders in totality. Of course, the people who will now claim that there is this dent which will be caused as a result of this order in their livelihood, they will need to be rehabilitated or reaccommodated somewhere. That is when the state governments will need to step in. But one thing is very clear, the mindset of this order, if you read through the fine point or the subtext of this order, the National Green Tribunal doesn't want any more dragging of feet on this issue. It wants the river Ganges to be cleared up. And given the fact that it has been the Prime Minister's pet project, the Namami Gange project, perhaps there is some hope on the horizon that with this order, both the governments will also now pull up their socks and get back to the task of cleaning up the river Ganga, which has been lying dirty for so many years now.
Joining me now is Gaurav Bansal, who was the petitioner before the NGT in this particular case. Mr. Bansal, thank you for speaking with Mirror Now. Are you satisfied with the order that has come from the NGT?
Yes, ma'am. Firstly, I am not the petitioner. I am the advocate for the petitioner. And yeah, we are satisfied in terms of the order, because the order deals on the various aspects. In case it deals with the pollution as well as with the rejuvenation of the river Ganga and its tributaries. So, as per my view, this is an historic order, and the most important thing is that the NGT has not passed order just only hearing the petitioner side. They have a detailed discussion with all the persons, including the associations, the Tenri associations, the government of UP, its authorities like Pollution Control Board, like UP Jal Nigam, etc.
Right. Mr. Bansal, now we know that this is not the first time somebody has actually, a court has actually issued an order as far as cleaning up the Ganga is concerned. But this is probably a first in the sense that the tribunal has said that it will monitor implementation itself. They've also given certain timelines to complete certain directives that have been laid out. Does that give you more hope that we could finally see a cleaner Ganga, some years down the line?
Yep. See, as far as the committees are concerned, yes, the National Green Tribunal has formed or constituted two committees. One will deal with the structure committee, and other will deal with the implementation committee. The whole sole object of this is that, as done in the past, or as we have seen in the past, that there were the orders of the Honorable Supreme Court, Honorable High Court of Allahabad, as well as the Lucknow bench. But because of the lack of implementation and because of the lack of will by the, you can say, the government and its authorities, the same remains only on paper. So now what the NGT has done, NGT has gone a step further, and they have formed the committees, and most important thing is that these committees are none other than the government itself. They are the government, right now the court has appointed these committees, but the member would be only the government and only the officers of the government, as well as some professors of IIT Delhi, like IIT Delhi, Kanpur or Roorkee. So the whole sole basis of all of these things is to achieve the object that the Prime Minister or everybody of us, everybody feels that the river Ganga should be clean and should be rejuvenated. So the whole sole basis of all the direction is that the government should do something for the river Ganga as promised them only by in the elections.
Mr. Bansal, also there was a decision that the NGT had passed in January, and this dealt with that part of the Ganga which flows through the mountains and on cleaning up the Ganga over there. Now, January to July obviously is not a big enough time period, but has there been action on ground after that January order, and does that give us hope for what could happen in future?
See, you can't, first of all, we have to understand this is a complex issue. We are dealing with the mistakes which the government are committing, various governments are committing, with our people, we are committing. And it is not only the government which failed to protect the river Ganga. It is me and you also. In one way or other, we have contributed to the pollution. So you can't have a straitjacket formula, first of all. We have to wait. We have to see that whether we have to act as per the mandate which has been given by the NGT. But right now, if you are talking about the phase 1, segment 1, phase 1, okay, that is Gaumukh to Haridwar. Yes, there are certain things developing. The government are doing work on the STPs, because basically in that stretch, that is Gaumukh to Haridwar, there are not so many of the polluting industries. The most polluted area, if we talk about the stretch of the river Ganga, is this area, or the area which covers from the Haridwar to Kanpur. This is the most polluted one.
In fact, that brings me to my next question also, Mr. Bansal. In a way, the NGT has asked for shutting down of tanneries and factories along the river.
No, ma'am, you are wrong, ma'am. I am sorry to say that this is not a correct fact. Okay. What the NGT has done, what the NGT has recommended or ordered, the NGT has directed the association as well as the UP government, UP Jal Nigam, to prepare a plan and to act accordingly. They have given 6 weeks time to the, you can say, the stakeholders, that is the UP government, its authorities, the the tanneries associations and other persons to have a plan, to draft a plan, and have further given 4 months to act upon the same. In case now the NGT comes into picture, the NGT has said specifically that in case they fail to do so, then there is no option other than the shifting of the tanneries. So, you can say that the summary is like this, that first of all, the NGT has believed that the tannery will do something. And in case they deliberately, intentionally fail to do the things which have been directed by the NGT, then there is no option other than the shifting in the industrial zone.
Right. Right, clearly. But Mr. Bansal, what is heartening, of course, is the fact that the NGT has taken a very tough stand here on the river Ganga. Thank you very much for joining us with your perspective on this story. Of course, the NGT over here making it very clear, mincing no words, saying that despite spending over 7,304 crore rupees, the Ganga is still an environmental issue. It's a big Mirror Now exclusive. If you've been experiencing bumpy rides on Mumbai's arterial roads for a long time, here's the reason why. An FIR will be filed against 6 contractors for scamming the city and its citizens. An inquiry by the BMC officials revealed that 6 contractors have used inferior quality material to build city roads, causing a loss of 67 crore rupees to the civic body. Our reporter Disha Shah gets us these exclusive details.
Mumbaikars have been facing bumpy rides, of course, for many years now, and only contractors are responsible is what BMC is claiming, and the inquiry report has revealed, of course, 6 FIRs very soon will be filed. And if I can read out the contractors, the names of the contractors, I have the list with me. It's MS Pecco, Preeti, Supreme, Prakash, Vitrag and New India Roadways. These are the construction firms, and of course I am standing on that stretch of the road where these construction companies have carried out the road repair works. And also, if you can see, with only little showers, and of course it has been raining heavily today since morning here in Mumbai, and we can see potholes, of course, here in the city of Mumbai. So these are the locations, key arterial roads, of course, where these construction companies had carried out. And you can see the potholes, you can see water logging. These are the major arterial roads. Of course, here I'm standing between the Chakala Road and the Airport Road here in Andheri. This is one of the roads. The SV Road in Bandra, the LBS Marg, which is of course huge in terms of connectivity. That roads, of course, where these construction companies have carried out substandard work and shoddy work.
The much talked about award Wapsi is back, this time for Gorkhaland. 4 artists have returned their laurels to the West Bengal government as a sign of protests. The artists who have returned their award are K.S. Muktan from the Bhanu Memorial Award for Literary and Banga Ratna, Karma Yonzon, who got a Sangeet Saman, Prabhat Pradhan, who was awarded a Shiksha Ratna and Navratna Pradhan, and a Shiksha Ratna as well. Meanwhile, fresh violence has erupted over the demand for Gorkhaland. In Darjeeling, the Tourist Information Centre has been set ablaze in Mall Road, while stones were pelted at TMC Tourism Minister Gautam Dev's vehicle in Panigata in Siliguri. Mohit sent us his latest report from ground.
As the protest for Gorkhaland escalates, you can see behind me there are a large number of protesters, all demanding one thing. They say they want justice, they say they want a separate Gorkhaland. They are currently on their way to the DM office, where they're going to घेराव the DM office, the administration office. They say that they will not stand down until and unless they get a separate Gorkhaland. As you can see, there are a massive number of crowd here who have gathered here, massive number of protesters, all demanding just one thing. They say they want a separate Gorkhaland. They say they will not stand down until and unless they get what they've been demanding for. That is a separate Gorkhaland. They've been protesting against Mamata Banerjee. They say that Mamata Banerjee has not done right to them. At the same time, they are also demanding a proper inquiry into the death of the protesters who have died so far. They say they will not stand down until and unless they get what they've been demanding for. They say they need a separate Gorkhaland, which was promised to them by several governments.
Going straight to our top story, a shocking case of honor killing has come in from the Shikar district of Rajasthan. A woman was strangled to death by her own father days after she eloped with her lover. But she had eloped with her lover just a few days after marriage and she was staying in Maharashtra since then. Her father saw her at a local bus stand in Ranoli, Gujarat, from where he took her to his village and strangled her to death. What's more shocking is that after killing his daughter, the murderer went to the police station and confessed.
In Samer village of Sikar district in Rajasthan, a father has killed her own daughter for eloping with a married lover. What is more shocking in this case of honor killing, that father himself had gone to police to confess his crime. This shows the archaic mindset prevailing in the society where the girl is still made to carry the family honor. And if she crosses any social norms, her life also doesn't carry any value. With cameraman Dinesh, Arvind Singh, for Mirror Now from Jaipur.
उसी घटना पर बलवीर सिंह ने अभियोग दर्ज करवाया है कि भंवर सिंह की लड़की चैन शाह कंवर की शादी अप्रैल 2016 में डेडवाड़ा में हुई थी। वहाँ से वो लड़की किसी अन्य लड़के के साथ भाग गई। डेडवाड़े थाने में गुमशुदगी हुई, उसके बाद भी वो उसी लड़के के साथ रह रही थी। कल भंवर सिंह सीकर जा रहा था, वहाँ राणौली स्टैंड पर वो लड़की उसको मिल गई। उसको लेके वो गांव आ गया और उसकी हत्या कर दी।
It's scary. It's very scary because no matter how many rules you make, no matter what kind of laws you bring in, unless people stop thinking in that particular manner, things are not going to change. So here is a proud father simply walking into the police station and telling the police that I've killed my daughter because she's brought so much of shame to my family. What kind of shame is it? I mean, our constitution gives a right to live the way you want to live unless it is harming anybody else. What kind of shame are we talking about? I mean, what is a bigger shame? Killing somebody is a bigger shame or marrying somebody is a bigger shame?
A Muslim family of 10 travelling in a train in Mainpuri, Uttar Pradesh were brutally thrashed by a mob on Wednesday. The victims included women, small children, along with senior citizens and a differently abled teenager. The victim claimed that the men snatched all the valuables of the family and left them injured. Mirror Now has accessed a video which shows what unfolded inside the train.
हम भोगांव से आ रहे थे बारात करके, मेरे साथ छोटे छोटे बच्चे थे और मेरी सब औरतें थी। एक औरत के उन्हें गोली मार दी लड़के ने। मेरा बच्चा बोला भैया देख के चलो ना, तो लड़के के हाथ मार दिया। जब लड़के के हाथ मार दिया तो मेरे इस बच्चे ने किया, कहने देख नहीं पा रहे तो सब जुट पड़े और डंडा लाठी ट्रेन रास्ता भर मारते आए हम लोगों को, रास्ता भर मारा। सब जगह छीन के बच्चों की हालत देख लो, सब हालत गंभीर है। देखो मेरी बहुत हालत गंभीर है, औरतों की बहुत हालत गंभीर है।
कुछ भी नहीं हुआ था, हम लोग बैठे थे तो आया जिसके चाटा मार दिया, कंधा मारा, पहले कंधा मार के भैया क्या हो गया क्या, तो कहने का क्या कुछ नहीं, एकदम चाटा मार दिया। चाटा मार के एकदम हमने भैया क्या गलती होगी उसकी, कुछ और तो नहीं गलती, तुम बता दो। कुछ भी नहीं सुना, अब जो मारा मार लगे रहे, हम लोग माफी मांगे, भैया माफ कर दो, हम लोग को क्यों मार रहे हो, मारने हम छूटे रहे। हम लोग ने बाहर निकाल दिया, लोगों को बाहर निकल गए, गेट में से तोड़ के घुस गए।
10 लोग घायल अवस्था में यहाँ पे आए हुए थे, उपचार हेतु। क्योंकि ज्ञात हुआ है कि ट्रेन में कोई झगड़ा वगैरह या लूटपाट की घटना हुई है, उसमें ये लोग घायल हुए हैं। एक शादी समारोह से वापस आ रहे हैं। स्थिति इनकी सामान्य है, ठीक है, फिर भी इन्हें अंडर ऑब्जर्वेशन हम लोगों ने रखा हुआ है।
Well, it is still not clear what exactly triggered this clash or this attack on this family. But we are given to understand that there are some grievous injuries which have actually been inflicted on this family of about 10 people. About 4 to 5 people have suffered fractures, and they are recuperating in a hospital there in Farrukhabad. Also, we are told that police is investigating the matter because this clearly stands out as a grave security lapse on board a passenger train around Shikohabad, wherein the aggrieved family, the victims, also tried to approach the police, the GRP, but no help was forthcoming. It in fact can be equated with the incident that happened on board another passenger train plying between Delhi and Haryana, wherein one of those injured person actually succumbed to his injuries. So also this appears to be a hate crime because this family of 10 actually belong to the Muslim community, and we've been told that the women passengers, the women members of the family had also been molested by the mob that had gathered over there. In fact, more people were called in by some of those attackers who were flying on this train, and the victims actually had to lock the compartment from inside to escape the wrath of these attackers. But so far the police has carried on its investigations.
No relief for actor Dileep as his bail plea has been rejected yet again. Police custody has been extended till 5 p.m. tomorrow. Remember, Malayalam actor Dileep was produced in court today in connection with the Malayalam actor abduction and molestation case. Meanwhile, Dileep's manager, Apunni, who was in the purview of the investigation, is now absconding.
Actor Dileep has been rejected as for now by the first-class magistrate court in Angamali, and the police has requested, the court has given permission to the police for just one more day of police custody. Now you can see on the screens that actor Dileep is being taken from here. He'll be taken to the Alua sub-jail from here, and from there he'll be questioned for another one more day. You can see a large number of media people and police deployment after actor Dileep, surrounding actor Dileep, and a lot of people are booing at him. Also, a lot of people are there finding a lot of difficulty in actually taking Dileep to the police van. From here he will be taken to the Alua sub-jail. You can see the kind of rush over here. A large number of people are pushing from left and right. And you can see Dileep slowly being taken to the police van. From here he will be taken to the Alua sub-jail, and tomorrow evening by 5 o'clock that he has to be produced in the court. You can see a large number of people booing right now at actor Dileep. And Dileep in the court, at 11 o'clock the court proceedings started, and from there the two advocates, the special prosecutor as well as advocate Ram Kumar, who's representing Dileep, has clearly been contending various claims. Ram Kumar said that the police was not able to find any of these evidences till now, and but the special public prosecutor said that that there are 19 clear evidences against him, and Dileep being an influential person, that he can destroy the evidences also. So these two claims were clearly understood by the magistrate court judge, and the judge said at the end that yes, the bail plea which is being moved at 11 o'clock is being rejected, and he has to serve one more day of police custody, and tomorrow at around 5 o'clock that he'll be produced in the court again.
News from the national capital now. A 52-year-old woman was found murdered at her home at around 10 p.m. This is in the Lakshmi Nagar area in New Delhi. The victim's body had cuts on her neck and stomach. During investigation, the police found that nothing was stolen from the house and suspect personal rivalry in the matter.
In a shocking incident, a 53-year-old woman who was residing in this particular building here in East Delhi, Lakshmi Nagar area, was found dead inside her residence. In fact, the police said that they received a call at around 10:30 p.m. last night, and they said that the woman was found lying in a pool of her own blood, and there were marks on her body as if there was a sharp object that was used to attack her, and there were marks on her neck as well as her stomach. Now, that is the CCTV footage that you see right there on that shop, which is used by the police to investigate this entire matter. Currently, the police are almost ruling out any case of robbery in this case and are suspecting some kind of personal rivalry or vendetta in the death of this woman. In New Delhi, this is Apurva Sridhar for Mirror Now.
आंटी मिली थी मुझे, मैं 9:30 बजे या 9 बजे कुछ इन्हें मोबाइल दिलाने ले गया था, इनका मोबाइल खराब था, मोबाइल दिलाने ले गया, मैंने यहाँ पे छोड़ दी, ये ऊपर चली गई। उसके बाद हमें कुछ भी नहीं पता। बॉडी मैंने देखा यहाँ से कटी हुई थी, पेट से कटी हुई थी, बहुत बुरा लग रहा था सही में।
मैं 40-45 साल से जानता हूँ, 73 से मैं जानता हूँ।
तो ये बताइए, कल आपको इस बारे में कैसे पता चला?
तो बाहर शोर शराबा हो रहा था, तो बच्चों ने मुझे बताया कि बाहर शोर शराबा हो गया, पापा पता नहीं क्या हो गया है मामा। मैंने देखा तो लोग इकट्ठे हो रहे थे, पुलिस आई हुई थी। मैंने पूछा क्या हुआ, तो वो कहते ऐसे करके मर्डर हो गया है।
आपने उनको आखिरी बार कल कब देखा?
मैंने कल नहीं देखा, मैंने 3-4 दिन हो गया तब देखा था मैंने।
तो जैसा कि हमें दुकानदार ने बताया कि उन्हें राशन वगैरह भी लिया था 9:30।
हाँ, वो कह रहे थे कि 9:30 बजे सामान लेके गए हैं मेरे से। तो उसके बाद वो कहते हमने नहीं, सो उसके बाद तो यही मर्डर का ही सुना है।
क्या आपको किसी पे शक, यहाँ पे परिवार वालों को किसी पे शक?
नाम बेटे, कोई परिवार इतना अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा परिवार है। आपस में कोई उनकी नोक जोक या कोई लड़ाई झगड़ा कोई कुछ नहीं है, बिल्कुल परिवार ठीक है।
And that's a wrap on the news. Do stay tuned to Mirror Now for more news and updates.